Yeah, well, I understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest. That's why.
What's going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with Indie Breakdown, the show we break down your favorite indie comic book characters, power stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an indie versus matchup. Today we have another amazing guest, and I'm excited to say that we are on season 4. This is the first episode of season 4, and yes, we have an amazing guest here today with a really cool character. I'm gonna bring him up and let him introduce himself. How's it going, Chief?
Hi everyone. My name is Chinedu Atlas Shugukar. Well, for short, you can call me Ned. It's fine. I'm the creator, writer, and artist of Gago, the Imperial Alpha. So basically, Gago is a character that I created a few years back because I had a vision for what my skin color stood for. I wanted something, and yeah, it was also a character that had to do with power, but controlled power. You know, yeah, it's more of a redemption story for a character who's so powerful that you can realize that you are a danger to the society. And then how do you then control that power and contain it? Power, they say, corrupts. But what happens if it doesn't corrupt you? Okay. And how do you make up for all the ills you have done using this same power you have? So that's basically the whole idea of Gago. So it's Gago is a story of some people. When I brought out the first book, some people say, "Oh, it seems like you're starting from the end of the book. We want to see the hierarchy at the end and all of that." Sorry, and all of that. But now you're bringing it at the beginning of the book and all of that. But I said, look, now when you read Gago, the first chapter, the second chapter, you get to realize something. Both chapters I used different narrative techniques. I have a master's in English literature, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I used different narrative techniques for both books. Okay. The first book is an omniscient point of view. As the creator, I am speaking in the first chapter. In the second chapter, it's a little girl that's speaking. So even if the book is titled Gago, the story is more about his redemption to leading the child into a better future than what he has.
I love that. I love that nuance because I think we may have brought it up in a live before where there's something missing when you have in some cases, right? We see a lot of characters in the group, but just as a whole in the space where it's like, we've got the no, you're fine. We've got the ultimate character, the strongest character ever, and and it's like, well, what is the story about, right? You can use One Punch Man as an example, right? Where it's like, he's the strongest guy, but it doesn't fully revolve around him. We get to see the other characters get fleshed out. We get to see, how the world kind of reacts to them and why they're necessary. Not necessarily just, he's gonna end all the problems. No, other people are trying, other people are attempting to play their role in the world. It's not just about who's the strongest guy that's just gonna end the threat immediately. What's the buildup? What else is going on in the world? And I did peep that between issue 1 and 2. Yeah, that oh my gosh. And again, that hierarchy we talked about offline. Outstanding. You killed that.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to push out is I'm trying to draw them into the world. I'm not like any other writer that tries to take you in chronological order and make you see, oh, after this comes this, after level 1 comes level 2. No, I want you to see level 10. And then we are going to work up from level 1 to that level 10 that you've already seen. Except it's not Gago going from level 1 to level 10. It's Gago mentoring his child to go from level 1 to level 10. And it is stated in the book saying, whichever or however this child's future develops, he said it's a child that might have more to her destiny. Might. There's a chance she might not achieve her full potential. Not everyone achieves their full potential.
I like that. Yes. Agreed.
So the book is titled Gago. Yes. But the story is divided into 2. We've got Gago's part and we've got his child Zira's part. Okay. Now, one of the things a lot of people haven't picked up on is, and I'm wondering why. Chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, when you see chapter 1, it is explicitly stated all Imperial Alphas use dark energy and dark matter manipulation. In chapter 2, Gago destroys black. the character, the god of death. It's called Black. It
Mhm.
destroys it with light magic. How?
Mm-hmm.
So now what people are going to see later on in the future is the dark magic is so powerful that Gago cannot use it on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So he uses the light magic from the heliocell on his chest on Earth in order not to endanger his child's life.
I like that.
So
Thinking
now,
more than just
yeah, so that's why I said it's about controlled power.
Mm-hmm.
What would you, Lloyd, do if you had absolute power? What would you do? Will you go crazy with it? Or would you give up everything to nurture a little child?
Yeah.
You know, so this is what I'm trying to push out to my audience. This is what the narrative I'm trying to push out to the people. It's not just about, oh, he's the strongest guy on the block, he's this, is that. Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he might be the strongest guy, but he's protecting one of the weakest. If you'd read the power hierarchy, the humans are explicitly stated to be the weakest of all.
Yep.
Okay, so now how does somebody so powerful now hide on Earth for 4.5 billion years, and then just 11 years ago he adopts a little girl and starts to raise this child as his own? Okay, and now it's stated when you read the second chapter of the book. Sorry to give you spoilers. He stated it to Black. He said, look, I have been on this planet for 4.5 billion years and I've stayed away from all chaos. Stayed away from all chaos. Now people might wonder, if Gago was on this planet, where was there racism? Where was there slavery? Where was there? He was hiding and he stayed away. Listen, Gago has existed for timeless. He's seen people suffer.
Yeah.
Okay. Slavery and racism seems a little bit minute to a person who destroys planets with the.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the level of destruction he can cause and the level of pain humanity might have gone through, it doesn't quite involve him, stepping in. So he hides behind the scene. And he told Black, he said, look, you have touched what is most precious to me. And that is the only circumstance in which Gago exerted violence. Under no circumstance will Gago use violence, even as powerful as he is. Like we said, remember the theme of the book, controlled power.
Yes.
So this is what I'm trying to do. It's not just about a superhero story. It's not about this. It's not about that. No. Okay?
Yeah.
If as powerful as Gago is, the only reason Gago would ever have to attack you or do something to you is if you touch what was most precious to him. You could hurt Gago. You could shoot him with a gun. Do it, not like it's going to hurt him, but you could take the piece. You can attack him. He's not going to do anything to you because he knows you're weak. You're human. But touch the child, then it's you actually see the Imperial Alpha. Yeah, you see the Imperial Alpha. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, when you read the second chapter, the little girl says it. It says, I live with someone who barely sleeps, barely eats, barely speaks, except for grunts.
Grunting, yep.
Basically, it's a living statue. So that from the beginning of the second chapter, I'm trying to tell you and prepare you that Gago isn't going to speak much all through this book.
Yeah.
It's his story, but Gago doesn't talk much. He's a quiet character. So all through the book, a lot of other characters are going to tell us their own perspective of Gago. We're going to learn about Gago through the eyes of the supporting characters.
Okay. I like, this is going to be so good. And really quick, before we dive into the powers and stuff like that, how frequent do you drop issues by chance? Obviously, of course, you also draw it, so I know it does take a little while there, but like how often have you been releasing issues?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I released the first one in May. I released the second one in June. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So hopefully, I'm hoping to get the next one out by probably towards the end of next month. And then that's where, because chapter 3, I and somebody else is drawing chapter 3. Okay. But for the chapter 4, it's just me. I've finished the chapter 4. It's all drawn. We just have to get it painted. Okay. So I'm still gonna bring out 2 books this year. So basically, from just May to December, we're going to have 4 chapters of Gago, and they're absolutely free for everyone to read online. You're not paying for anything. You're not buying anything. I just want as many eyes on it. I just want to take you through how my mind works.
Okay.
Basically, I want to give you the experience. So that is what we are doing. So we're going to try to release at least 6 to 7 books every year, absolutely free. Absolutely free.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna keep it free for as long as I can, just to get people into the story, just to get people in love with the character. I just want people to see what I have in mind, So basically, that is how we're gonna be doing it.
Wow, that's fantastic. And last question in regards to that, do you plan on having physical copies of the book down the line?
Yes, down the line we're gonna have physical copies. As a matter of fact, we've got the first issue here. Printed, but these are just sample copies. Sample copies. So down the line, definitely we're gonna have physical copies where we're gonna be selling and all of that. But like I said, for now, I'm just building a fan base. I just want people to experience the book and all of that.
Okay, dude. And I gotta say again, that artwork, the interior, all of it, it looks fantastic, dude. So keep up the good work on that.
Thank you.
So down to the nitty gritty. We know Gago is an Imperial Alpha. He is Himothy, as they say. I want to know. Let's talk strength.
Yes.
We do see a bit of that at the end of that first one, but talk to me. How hard is he hitting? And then we'll talk about lifting and stuff, but like how hard does Gago hit?
So now before I can tell you how hard Gago hits, I need to first explain a little bit about Imperials to you. Now, he is an Imperial Alpha. Imperials, if you read the first chapter, they were more like what you'd call a glitch in the system. They were never meant to be created. Okay, they're an error in creation. The Frail basically just messed up and created this whole galaxy of people. That's why they're made from dark matter. That's why their planet can revolve around 2 suns. Basically it shouldn't make any sense because it was never a plan. So later down the line, we're going to find out if it was intentional, if there was an ulterior motive, or it was just a plain stupidity. But how can a god of creation just make such crazy mistake? We'll find that out later. That's not for me to disclose as of this point of the story. So now, in the universe, in their universe or in their galaxy, there's a planet called Imperium. Okay, all citizens of Imperium are known as Imperials. Now, Imperials are extremely powerful. They're basically made up of dark energy and dark matter. Okay, all Imperials, sorry, that live on Imperiums, on Imperium. So now, amongst those Imperials, the specific ones who go and harvest, the most powerful ones, they go to harvest the cores of other planets to keep their own planet running, to sustain their own planets. Now, those ones are what you call the Imperial Alphas. So they're not just Imperials, they're Alphas. So
top tier.
Top tier. So Gago is one of those Imperial Alphas.
Okay.
Basically, an Imperial Alpha comes into your planet. In less than a millisecond, the planet is eviscerated. It is that powerful. They are that powerful. Now, an Imperial, I've seen some of the ad posters that have been done. Gago, you can see Gago lifting the sun.
Yeah.
He's that powerful. You can see Gago destroying planets. He's that powerful. Gago can basically disintegrate gods and other deities. Like in chapter 1, he disintegrated the personification of death, the death god.
Ooh.
So
heavy hitter. And it's not even necessarily through dark matter per se. He can just
strike
them and
he can just strike them.
Man. Okay.
Yeah. So now, if you know, basically in science, so dark matter is part of what keeps the universe and space and everything intact. Okay, that's why an Imperial is so difficult to defeat. Okay, for example, if you are fighting them, it's very difficult to damage them or something because part of the fundamental part of science that keeps the matter intact. They are what makes them up. So you are basically fighting against almost nearly the impossible, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
basically
no,
almost nearly impossible. So they are very, very difficult to defeat. How far damaging they can hit, definitely a single punch can take down a planet. And it depends on how powerful. A single blast can take down a planet. If they wanted to blast it up, blow it up, or if they wanted to hit it out of pure rage, it could destroy it. That's how powerful they are.
and that's just the Imperials we're talking about. The Alphas are even more so.
The alphas are even more. There's a if you've read the end of the chapter 1, it talks about stories from the Omniverse, tales from the Omniverse. It talks about Ozolian Locris. Ozolian Locris was regarded as the greatest of all Imperial Alpha. Later on down the line, you discover Ozolian Locris was able to destroy a whole galaxy. Just one person. So that is why one thing I do need to say to the audience: you're not going to see many Imperial Alphas running around because no, let's set that record straight, because they're too powerful to have too many of them just running around in the story. It breaks down the whole plot.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna create a whole lot of disjoints in the plot. So I'm not gonna have too many of them running around, but the very few of them we're gonna see, I'm gonna make sure they're properly developed. So the thing with the characters of this book is it's not just I'm the good guy, he's the bad guy. Now we're gonna realize something as the story goes on. Is there really a bad guy in this book called Gago?
Okay.
Yeah, because when you haven't read the second chapter, when you read the second chapter, if you remember, the masked man from chapter 1 that faced against a Pathfinder.
Yes.
His story is very, very, very important. Okay, his part of the story is very important because people will say, "Oh, he's the villain," but later on you will discover he's also basically trying to save people.
Yeah.
So why
is
so
good and evil at this point?
Yeah. What is good and evil? Why should we have the audacity to say Gago is good and this guy is evil?
Right.
Gago destroyed more planets than he did.
There is a part in issue 1 where there was a whole discussion in there about like is it bad for us to act in our own self-interest?
Exactly.
We're trying to live all the same, so is it bad for us to strive for our own survival? I peeped that.
Yeah, because now you're gonna understand something. One of the characters in the first book, as you read, the one who came to meet the masked man, the one who So basically, if you read the book carefully, sorry, I have it open right here. If you read the power hierarchy, so basically we're talking about, just 1 minute. Let's see, the mediators. Okay, now let's assume you are a mediator. Okay. Now, you know how beautiful planets are, how beautiful the worlds are, how beautiful the Lord's creation is. Imagine if you couldn't experience any of those because you're too powerful. Where you step into a planet, it's going to get eviscerated, it's going to get destroyed. So you are stuck on just the vastness of space and darkness and nothingness. Why? Why should you suffer that? And other people, less powerful beings, get to enjoy all the creations of all the beautiful things of all the world. So is it bad for you to want that?
No.
So if you want that, do we have the right to say you're evil?
No.
So why should we say he's a villain and this one's not?
That's fair.
You see,
fair.
That's exactly the kind of book I'm writing, where you as the reader get to decide who's the villain. Don't for one moment think, oh, Gago's the hero. Yes, he's the hero. Everything he does is perfect, is good. No.
He's just a protagonist.
It's just a protagonist. At some point, you're going to see Gago doing certain things that why would he do this? But later on, you discover he's doing it purely from the instinct of a father. Okay? Sometimes he's doing it purely from the instinct of, I don't want my mistakes to repeat. So there's a prophecy that's been told. This is a spoiler. It says, you would destroy the omniverse. And you would destroy the omniverse because of love. Later on, you're going to meet a love interest of Gago. Now, it's left to you as the reader to decide. Is he going to destroy it for his love interest or for his daughter?
For the daughter.
But because of love. Okay? So that's the kind of book I'm trying to pushed out to people. It's not just a black and white story about this is evil, this is good. So by all means, by default, we side by this. No, I want other people to experience, to see things from other people's points of view. Everybody's driven by logic. Okay, every character is driven by logic. In my own perception of what a story should be, every character is So I want everyone to come to that conclusion on who they feel is the villain and who they feel is the good guy. For example, Gago has a lot of enemies. He's destroyed a lot of planets. Do you think they're not people who are going to come for him? So then coming for him now, do we now say those people are evil?
No,
Or
they're trying to
because
get revenge. Yeah,
exactly, because he's been docile for the past few years. Does that erase the evil and destructions he's caused in the past? No. So it's a redemption story. So as time goes on, we're going to get to see more of this in the book.
that is fantastic. That's good. I'm looking forward to this. So okay, we covered strength. Like there's top of the line. He's one shot in planets. There is a being that might be above him that could one shot a galaxy, but he definitely still has that potential to do so as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So and we're just talking about pure strength. We didn't even dive into the actual abilities that he has yet. But before we get there, then
Yes.
talk to me about his I want to say durability first. Now I'm curious about durability, then we'll go speed. How durable is he? What are the upper limits that he can take?
To be honest, to damage a character like Gago, you're talking about you need to be a little bit above cosmic level.
Okay. So we're talking about if you got characters that's lunging black holes or energy akin to you would I'm assuming you would need energy akin to that of say a Big Bang almost to be able to withstand because they're glitches. Again, you said that they are made up of dark matter, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So it's very, and one other thing you need to know here is for other beings, if you look at the hierarchy, okay, you're gonna need a lot of strength, like a little bit above a cosmic level to be able to damage Gago. But a fellow Imperial would be able to do good damage to him.
Okay.
So let's make that clear. There's a balance, At that point, there's a balance. So an Imperial, just like him, can damage him, but you who's not of the same race, okay, you don't have the same biological makeup, okay, it's going to take you extra to be able to damage him.
Okay.
And now, something a lot of people might not understand is, I just want to state this here for the record. The ancients in the power hierarchy of the book are not the same as gods like Thor, okay, or Odin, or not, or no. They are above that level. That's why they are called ancients.
Yes.
Now, if you read the power hierarchy, it is stated, for example, there's a page here where I talk about the hyperrace, okay? The same page that has the ancients, the Outreach Galaxy, there's one that says the hyperrace. It says beings gifted with magical powers, varying from immortal deities to regular superhumanoids. Immortal deities. So that's where we're talking about the likes of Thor,
I see.
the likes of Ra and all of that. So an Imperial Alpha by default is higher tier than them.
See, I like this because it's like it's taking elements that are familiar and saying, no, they're here, but understand there are beings, there are entities that precede them and that are higher than them.
Higher than them. Exactly. Yes.
So with that being said, then okay, so durability, unless it's somebody of that same makeup or above, because obviously what is that? The Supreme Infinity, that is the one above all, essentially. They are
Those are the frail. The frail could damage him. Okay, a mediator could do extremely good damage to Gago as well. Okay, because the mediators are like really powerful. The Pathfinders are not really violent, but they are above Gago's level. So I'm trying to make you understand that even within his story, he's not the strongest.
I like that.
Okay,
there's still a hierarchy above him.
There's so much more hierarchy, so much more in the hierarchy to him that can take him down very easily.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so durability wise, unless you're above, obviously you got to be above the old ancient scrolls and texts, right? Of the Thors, the North and Greek mythologies. By minimum, you got to be. I'm
Yes.
assuming you need to be above the ancients in order to battle against these characters.
So basically, the ancients were created. For example, when the Pharaoh discovered he made an error creating these things, he then created the
Oh,
ancients.
to
The
combat them.
ancient to combat them. So if it states there, if they ever strayed from their galaxy, the ancients
Mm,
will combat them. So they
okay.
knew, the Pharaoh knew, okay, I messed up with this. So now I know this solar system is extremely difficult for these things to survive or to thrive in. Okay, they
Mhm.
are definitely going to want to leave their solar system. So when they do this, I have the ancients to combat them.
Okay.
So I just want you to understand how it
Okay.
is. Yes.
And so obviously we're talking about tiers of power beyond what we see on the regular, but um are they weak besides physical attacks? Are they weak to magical beings and stuff like that, or is it more or do they get more hurt by, say, what's in the cosmos itself? Do they have a weakness to anything outside of that, or is it like kind of strictly, hey, it's the power level of those beings that are created to defeat you and above that can physically overpower you? And then lastly, can they be sealed? There we go. That was really I was going to ask with the magic side of things.
Yeah. So as the story goes on, you're going to understand why the ancients are also very important to this plot.
Okay.
Now, you see, the ancients. Okay, I don't want you to get confused at any point. So
Fair
now
enough.
imagine this. The story of Gago, I'm going to put it to you plain and simple, is divided in two, like I said. There's the
Hmm.
magical element and there's the superheroism element. Okay.
Okay.
So now the Imperial Alphas are the non-magical elements, though they are based off of energy. Okay.
They're just pure energy. Okay. Got you.
Yes. And then we've got the magical part of the book, the fantasy part of the story. So the
Hmm.
ancients use magic.
Okay. Okay.
So when an Imperial Alpha goes into battle against an ancient, it is pure energy versus magic. It's science versus magic.
I like this. Okay.
So
Okay.
this is what I said. That's why I said they're natural combatants to the Imperial Alphas. So
Okay.
now that when you read the second chapter, you would understand there's also a different tier system you haven't come across yet. There's the magical tier system.
Hmm.
Okay, I break it down and I begin to state it in the second chapter. You read it. Once you go back to it, you see it. Okay,
Okay.
now there are different levels to this magic, obviously, and then there's the ancient level of it. So
Hmm.
basically, if for example you're an ancient, the way you can use fire isn't the same way I, as a hyper race being, can use fire. Okay,
Hmm.
it's not the same way I, as a mythological god, can use fire. All right. So
Right.
this is, yeah. So it's the different tier systems to this magic. So for example, if someone from the hyper race, like let's say Thor, is using the lightning against Gago,
Hmm.
well, yeah, Gago can easily take him down. But if an ancient was using an ancient level lightning on Gago, he'll take damage.
Okay. Okay. Noted. Noted. So okay. So magic can harm, but you need to be cut from the
And
cloth, right? You need to be
yes, you need
an
to be on a very
ancient.
high level. High
We're not
level.
talking Doctor Strange, people. We're not talking Doctor Fate. Okay, we
No,
need
no,
to we
no.
need to be okay.
We need to be high.
We need to be the progenitors, essentially, of magic in their
Of
systems
magic.
in order to be able to do that. Okay.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. And see, thank you for doing the clarification portion, right? Because we hear, we've heard, right, whether it's the group or just outside and stuff like that, right? It's just like, yep, no weakness, or like there's no like real nuance to it. I think, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, they're weak to magic, but you got to be like, there's no in universe explanation, right?
Mm.
Like it's
Yeah.
just it's a thing. You actually have the tiering system, you have the hierarchy, it makes sense for the verse. And again, they're not the end all. Gago is not the end all be all guy, but we still get to see him struggle. We still get to see him go through a actual journey alongside of the other character there. Of course, don't want to sideline her in any means, but again, it's exciting to me. And so forgive me if I'm stumbling on my words, but it's exciting to
That's
see
fine. That's fine.
a really powerful character be more than just the super powerful guy,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Because you run into power creep and all these other things in these stories and stuff. It's like, oh well, as long as Goku gets here, the day is saved. All right, but like, there's other characters. There's more to it. So
Yeah.
anyway, putting my excitement to the side for a second, tell me about his speed. When we talk about these cosmic beings, I'm sure we're talking massively faster than light speed. But dive in a
Yes.
little. How fast is he moving?
Okay, just 1 minute. Let me pull up my sheet. Yeah. Um, so
This is a good start to the season, man. Thank you. This is a really good start to the season.
okay, let's see. So basically, for Gago, it's definitely way faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now this is something that is a little bit of I might need to juxtapose a little bit. Now,
Okay.
Gago is fast, yes. You're talking about a lot, maybe over 200,000 miles per second or per millisecond. Okay, so
Hmm.
Gago's definitely faster than the speed of light. Okay,
Yeah.
but Gago's also got something called the void step. So
Okay. Talk to me.
now
Talk to me.
the void step utilizes dark magic. Okay,
Hmm.
it's kind of like in his battle against Spiff's menace.
Oh,
Okay,
yes. Heartline Menace.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the hotline menace. Yeah. So basically, he's more. It's almost like teleportation, but
Hmm.
he can cover large distances. For example,
Yes.
Gago can go from this universe to another universe in an instant.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if we want to talk about combat speed, where he doesn't want to teleport and he just wants to go with you, definitely
Hmm.
faster than the speed of light. But if you
Yeah.
want to talk about how fast he can actually go, he can teleport from here to
It's,
instantly. It's instantaneous.
I
Okay.
love it.
So
Oh.
yeah. So
So sidebar really quick. We're experimenting with the
yes.
character of ours in regards to
Yes.
how they will they mess with there's this a part of them that messes with dark energy, dark matter, and stuff like that. We were
Yeah.
watching this one physicist and scientist talk about how they believe that dark matter are primordial black holes, and it was just like, well, how about we are able to utilize these primordial black holes as a traversal method? So when you said that, I just immediately was like, great minds think alike, because that's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. 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 Because if I did state during that battle, he, I said if he teleports the menace into the black hole,
Hmm.
basically mostly we're gonna have dark energy in there. So it's like his home.
Right.
Yeah. So he can basically move from one galaxy to another instantaneously.
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, where his speed is gonna come into play is gonna be, for example, if he's fighting on Earth, which he's gonna
Yes.
really do because he cannot just keep using dark matter on Earth. It's gonna destroy Earth.
Gonna destroy the planet. Yeah.
It's gonna destroy the planet. So then you can talk about the speed, which is over 200,000 miles per millisecond.
That's
So it's way faster than the speed of light.
okay. Noted.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Okay. Dang. Yeah, that's I love this. I love this. So next up, because we covered durability, we've covered strength, we just finished talking about speed.
Yeah.
I do want to dive a little bit into well, heck, we've also talked about agility, really. I do want to dive into those abilities. What kind of unique abilities is Gago bringing to any fray?
Okay, yeah, one of the first abilities, like I say, in every battle, the way he
Yeah.
starts his first battle, he uses uh, the entropy halo. Okay,
Mhm.
so it's a passive ability, basically.
Yeah.
It was meant to be a passive ability, but then Gago learned how to control and subdue it.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, once the entropy halo is active, and you're going to see it in the third chapter. I'm bringing it in the third chapter. So in the next
Okay.
book that comes out, yeah, you're gonna really see how it works. So once it does it, you begin to feel a sense of uncertainty and a sense of fear. Okay, it's like your brain is beginning to fight you. You can't comprehend anything.
Hmm.
All right, so you have to be on a certain level to have some sort of cognizance of what's going on in your
Yeah.
surroundings. And if you can't think properly, you can't see, you're just screaming in pain, sort of. How can you fight someone like this?
You can't.
Okay,
Just
you can't. Yeah, so that's the base of, that's like the basic. That's just an aura. Okay, that's, like I said, it's passive. It's just an aura.
Okay.
So when you step into the room, for example, if you're Gago, you step into the room, that's basically what you exude.
And just immediately, just boom. And the first thing that kind of popped into my head, Dragon Ball Z, Babidi is trying to take control over Vegeta, and the symbol is on him, and he's struggling to get the thoughts out of his mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that immediately, like, yeah, you're under duress right now.
Exactly. So for a stronger character, it's going to be like if you've seen Bleach, when there's a very powerful, for example, when the Captain Commander releases his Bankai, or there's a immediate explosion of Ryatsu, you know how the characters shiver, like they're in shock. So if you are someone on Gago's level, that's exactly how it's going to feel. It's going to feel like a chill to you, So it's like you're fighting in the winter without any clothes on.
Right.
Okay. So it's like your body, your whole being is you're unsettled. Okay, so that's the first thing he can do. Okay, and then on Gago, on the Imperial Alpha days, we're not talking about the fatherhood days now. The Imperial Alpha days. Yeah. So basically, there's what's called no law override, where he can override the fundamental forces of gravity. Okay, he can override electromagnetism. So basically, in any localized area, all these things, energy, all these things become useless against him.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, you can't do it on a planet, because if he does it on a planet, it's going to destroy that planet. Yeah. So Gago can do that. There's also the dark matter reconstruction. Okay. It can reconstruct, construction of constructs life forms. Life forms can be constructed or remade through dark matter and dark energy. So that's how powerful it can be. So, but when he reconstructs this, when I say reconstruct, I don't mean he can create human beings.
Right.
No. But I don't want to give you a spoiler, but at some point you will see what he can reconstruct.
Got you.
Okay. Yes. So yes, Gago can do that. There's also the time invasion core. Okay. So the time invasion core is any damage to Gago or any attack is reversed instantaneously at quantum level.
Okay.
Yeah. So think about some sort of auto restore points.
Yes.
For example, you hit him before the damage takes effect. It's not regeneration.
Right.
It's just time can't move fast enough for the damage you just done. Once you retract your hand from the punch to see any damage.
Right. That reminds me, that is like a removal of causality almost. Is what it kind of reminds me. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So this is how powerful this guy can be. There's also something called the void immunity, where he's immune to all matter and energy interaction.
Yeah, oh my God. I think I remember a discussion about that in regards to, again, separate situation. Anybody that's watching, we do have a group for it, Indie Breakdown Versus on Facebook. Go ahead and check it out. Indie Versus on Instagram and all of that. But there's some battles that took place. There was one with Heartline Menace, and I think that was one of the main points you were trying to make in regards to like Toon Force versus this reality warping and stuff like that he could ignore those type of things with his abilities.
Yes, he can ignore it with his abilities. But a lot of people didn't quite understand what I was trying to say. So yes, he can ignore those things. There's also the wheel of the singularity, and this has when the consciousness evolves in real time. Okay, Gago's consciousness. Yes, okay. Yes. So, for example, if you brought an equal being to Gago and a tactician, whichever tactic you use against Gago right now is not going to work in the next second.
Right, because he's ever evolving in real time.
It's ever evolving in real time. So yes, that one, and then we also now have the light energy part. So Gago's powers, I told you, in two: dark energy, which is the large bulk of it, and then there's the light energy, which basically he stores solar energy in the helio cell in his chest. Okay, so later on we're going to find how he got that, how we invested it, and how he got it into So don't worry. When it comes to my book, everything is going to be shown in the book. I'm not a writer who just throws things at you because I want to feel cool. No,
Yeah.
everything is going to be explained in the book. So that's why we're going to have a lot of flashbacks, and you're going to see how he became what he is. That's why I said you are seeing the end. You've seen 10, level 10. I'm going to take you to level 1 and walk you through.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, with that one, he can use light energy, explosion, fire, heat energy, solar beams, and all of that from his gen. So yes, so that's what you could, not necessarily weaker, but Gago can use that within Earth, so he doesn't destroy the planet, but in tiny portions. In very tiny portions. Yes. When you reach chapter 2, you'll see he used it a little bit there. So that's how the character is built. So when he leaves Earth and goes into space or other galaxies, then he can use the dark matter. So some other thing I need, please, everybody should understand. Wherever you see Gago wearing his costume and he's masked, he's on full Imperial Alpha form. He can never be on Earth. Wearing that mask and that costume itself exudes so much dark matter, it's going to destroy Earth. So you're always going to see Gago in streetwear when he's on Earth. Just to clarify these things. Okay? Yes. So I need everybody to understand that. Yeah. So those are some of the powers and abilities Gago have.
Now, and then, so there's the powers and abilities, and the Helio cell would kind of serve more as equipment, essentially. Yeah. That's not something that's initially innate to him. Do I have that right?
Yes, it's not something additionally innate to him. Yes. Other Imperial Alphas or Imperials or Imperial Alphas do not have it.
Okay. So he does have a leg up on the rest of them.
Yeah. So basically, they all use the dark energy and dark matter stuff. That's fine because they're born with it. They're made up of it. But the Helio cell thing is Gago alone. So we're going to later on see why most of the Imperial Alphas themselves hate him, and how he got that power to begin with.
Fair enough. So last couple of questions. Thank you for this. Like you have clarified very clearly exactly what this character can do, will do, and avoided as many spoilers as possible. So kudos to you on that. Is there, and this might be a foolish question based on what we talked about in regards to durability and all of this other stuff. But two questions, and again, may sound foolish, but just to clarify, right? Is he immortal in the sense that he doesn't age, right? Or is he immortal to the point where he can't be killed?
So basically, you want to know if it's a functional immortal. So basically, Gago is both. He's existed for billions and billions and billions and billions of years. Now, don't make the mistake of saying Gago can't be killed. Gago can be killed.
Okay, yeah.
Gago could, if he went up against an ancient who defeated him, Gago would die.
Got you.
Yeah, so any being above, on his level or above his level is a threat to his life.
I see. Okay.
So
because I was wondering,
can be killed.
Energy. I was wondering that, and that's why I was like, because he was energy, except it was like, would he officially like be dead, or would he like reform? And I was trying to make an assumption with the reconstruction situation as well. But no, but ancients and above can.
Yes.
Can.
Okay. Because at some point we need to keep the story and the characters under control.
Yes.
So that's like the limits I'm giving to the character. So the character isn't limitless.
I like this. Okay. And then again, foolish question, but this forgive me here.
No problem.
But I'm assuming ancients and up could, cause can they harm in the sense of causing an illness, right? Like a radiation like esque or a magical illness or anything like that to weaken them or anything of that nature.
Yes, we are going to see at some point that there's some Imperials that you asked the question earlier. I didn't want to give a spoiler, but I will give. But that comes in like chapter 5. Okay, I brought it already. Yeah, it comes out. You're going to see the ancients that they have the capability of imprisoning an Imperial. But they just don't imprison an Imperial because there's no walls strong enough to hold an Imperial. So when you want to imprison an Imperial, you can imprison an Imperial in a pocket dimension. You can imprison an Imperial in a pocket dimension and put it within a planet that is hidden in a galaxy that is in another pocket dimension.
Wow. Okay.
So you're going to see that later on, because just so that no other Imperial can break them
Can break them out.
out of it, you know. So yeah, you're going to see the limitations of Imperials as well, and also what an ancient can do with magic. Compared when we're talking about ancient magic, we're not talking about Thor and Greek mythology kind of magic.
Yeah,
we're talking higher tier of magic, you know. Yes, so we're going to be seeing more of those later in the future.
Dude, I like the thought put into this.
Yeah, it's
I like the thought put into this, man, because again, there's something missing in quite a few of the stories that we picked up randomly, right? It's the character is super strong, but it's just like, if they can do all of these things, why is there still crime? Why is there still this, that, the third? And to your point, right? Gago is like, hey, the amount of, this ain't my business, right? I've killed so many people. I've done so much. What y'all are doing is, these are baby steps.
Yes. So sorry to interject. Just one thing, one point I just want to pass across. Now, Gago isn't just hiding on Earth for the past 4.5 billion years because he just wants to say, oh, I'm retired now, I don't want to destroy anymore. No, like I told you, there was a prophecy that said he's going to destroy the omniverse. He's hiding because he doesn't want to destroy the omniverse.
Yes.
They said he's going to destroy for love. So you're going to see also something that says about the vanity. When you run away from your faith, Lloyd, you end up running towards your faith.
Yep.
We're going to see that in this story. In a bid to escape what is his fate, he runs into his fate. You know, someone tells you, Lloyd, you're going to destroy the omniverse, and then you run away, run to a distant galaxy, a newly born galaxy, where Earth hadn't even formed. This was before the inception of dinosaurs, and you hide there. And then at the end of the day, you still meet your fate in hiding. So this is one of the things we're going to see. So I just want to make sure we are grounded in all parts. It's not just your typical superhero story. Okay, it's a story that makes sense. Okay, the vanity of life, as it is, the vanity of our existence. Okay, well, what you run away from, you end up running towards.
Right to it.
We're gonna see it in this story as well. So he's not just hiding or staying on Earth because he's hiding from anything. He's hiding from who he can become. He's hiding from who he is. Okay, so that's why he would then play a babysitter to an 11-year-old girl who doesn't even call him dad. She calls him Gago,
guardian.
Guardian. You know, she's always pissed off at him because only time he says anything is when he wants to tell her, "Oh, you need to do this in life so you can be this in life." Would you just stop with the life lessons, please? You know, and he frustrates her all the time. And then you gotta say, if Gago is this powerful, how is it weak? How is it, when he's a father, he is a regular father.
Yeah.
Gago, you're gonna see in the next chapter, Gago cooks. An Imperial Alpha. Imagine if another Imperial Alpha saw Gago cooking for an 11-year-old girl.
They'd be like, what is happening?
11 years is like a sneeze to an Imperial. You know, and then Gago is doing all these things. And the girl, now to create this mystery of a character, because I know what Gago is. Gago knows what Gago is. You all don't know what Gago is. So for you to know what Gago is, you are going to learn it from the eyes of every other character. And then you be the judge of it. Is Gago a good guy or a bad guy? Okay? So, yeah. So I'm not going to be the one to push my narrative to tell you, oh, Gago did this. He saved the city from the bad guys. So Gago is a good guy. No, I don't want to do that. Okay? You be the judge of it, if Gago is a good guy or is a bad guy. So Gago staying on Earth, avoiding chaos, avoiding everything, is because he's hiding from what he is. And you need to understand, if Gago goes into combat and uses more than a speck of his powers, he's going to get sensed. An ancient could sense it.
And they're going
to come looking. They're going to come. Yeah. And if it's even worse, if another Imperial senses a deserter, they're not going to destroy Earth. You need to understand, they're not just going to destroy Earth. They're going to destroy the whole Milky Way.
Jesus. Okay. Just a bit. What, out of punishment or just to verify that they're God?
Just to verify that he's gonna obliterate it. You need to understand, an Imperial society is a military society. You cannot desert. So it's bad enough for an Imperial to to desert. But Imperial Alpha, you bring sustenance to the planet, and then you run away from your post.
Mm,
So you
that's
see,
heavy.
the Imperial Alphas
That's
are his
heavy.
enemies. The ancients are his enemies.
He's got no allies.
He's got no allies. And every other planet, for who he is, the reputation he is, he's destroyed planets. The name he was known as the Dark Star, meaning if Gago lands, there will never be light on your planet again. It will be obliterated. No one ever lived to tell the tale of
Right.
how they experienced an Imperial Alpha. Everybody dies. When Gago steps in, Gago doesn't leave widows or leave orphans.
Yes.
Everybody goes.
Yes.
They're interested in, because now look, Lloyd, if you, for example, if Earth, for example, was dying all the time because we as humans, for example, the oxygen we to take in was dark energy or dark matter, and then it's killing Earth, and we're all going to be left in void without anywhere to live, and we have to go to other planets to harvest the core to keep Earth running. Wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would we say Gago is bad? But then, if Gago comes to your planet and destroys your planet, would you say Gago is good?
It's a matter of perspective.
So it's a matter of perspective. That's what the story is about. That's
I
what
like
the story is about. Yeah. So basically, that's what I'm trying to push with this book. It's not just about heavy hitters who can hit more. No. Yes, we know he can hit, but what comes after that? Okay, you're a man, you're a father, for example. You could, even if you didn't like superheroes or anything, you can relate to the story on how on fatherhood, Gago's journey through fatherhood, how those fatherhood teach him to be a better person. Okay, it's said that a lot of people say when you become a father, your life changes.
Yeah.
You begin to see life from a different perspective. You're now responsible for another life. And Gago's perspective on things begin to change. And we get to see it. How can someone who is extremely feared but be so disrespected by a kid, a human kid, the weakest of the
weakest of them all,
the weakest, and just a little child, an 11-year-old child. You know, it's like she has no regard for him. But it's all part of being a child. She's growing. Later on, as the story goes on, when she becomes a teenager, becomes an adult, she's going to realize all the things and all the sacrifices Gago made to give her a better future. So that is what the story is about.
I love this, dude. This has been this. This was a heck of a first episode, bro. Thank you.
No problem.
Big thing, of course, we want to make sure, of course, thank you for coming on. But the big thing, of course, we still want people to support, check out your stuff. Can you let the people know where they can find you on social media and where, of course, they can read the story?
Yes. So on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Gago_Real Fiction Comics. You can follow the page. If you click on the link in the bio, it takes you to our global comics page. That's the platform where Gago is being published. It's free to read. It's got about 18,000 views at the minute. So please, everyone, I want to beg you and urging you to go give it a read. It's absolutely free. Just I want you to be involved in this journey along with me, and hopefully you can like it. On Facebook as well, you can check out the Facebook page, Real Fiction Comics. We post content on Gago. If you click on the link in the bio on the Facebook page, it will also still take you to the Global Comics page where you can read the comic book for absolutely free.
Outstanding. All right. Well, that's it. This was again a heck of a first episode. We hope everybody that's watching absolutely enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We will have the breakdown for the episode come out pretty much right behind it. I'm going to get started with this one tonight.
Right.
But yeah, like be on the lookout for that. Of course, as we do with all these, this is just the first episode, y'all. So we got 9 more exciting episodes of creators talking about their characters. Be on the lookout for that. And of course, as we stated previously, we do have a Facebook group and an Instagram group where you can, well, get to know other characters and all the breakdowns and stuff like that. But the group is where you can kind of get challenge people into matches and really get to know the creators behind the characters and what have you. So definitely head over there. We'll have all the information down below as well as where you can read Gago as well, the Imperial Alpha. And so that's all we got today, man. Again, thank you for coming on. Thank everybody for listening. And Thank you for helping us redefine power scaling in the indie world. And again, I always forget this. Definitely check out indiebreakdown.com, where you'll see an entire database of characters that are in there, slightly separate from the show, but we're going to try to get everybody from the show on there as well. And of course, you can check out all of these episodes aside from YouTube on there as well. So, with all that being said, again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bitch, I'm